Okay guys, so we find ourselves in Muskogee, Oklahoma at Yaffe, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Iron and Metal. I came in right here on G Street. When you get up on the scale, you gotta have your tarp open up. And then they check me in, and then I loop back around into this position. And I'm supposed to get part of the load here, and then I'm gonna have to go kind of straight back there somewhere, not sure exactly, and get the rest of the load. So I think here's the guy that's gonna start loading me. This will not be baled product like the last two loads I had. He said it'd be loose. So I'm thinking I'm getting this pile here, and then some more stuff, like I said, from back there. So tarp is off. I tell you, man, I had a heck of a time getting this bow out. I had to bang on it for about 5 minutes to finally get it out of there. But the bows are out, tarp is opened, and here comes my loader. So I'll try to show you some of this. It's going to be a fun load to walk on to get the bows and the tarp back on. So let me talk to this fella. Okay, so he had me pull forward about 5 yards. He's just starting to load now, so one big sheet of metal there. Using a claw grabber. Scrap metal. Just giving you a look. So you see how he sets it inside, and then he kind of scoots it out once it's inside the trailer. So I really, you know, this ground here looks like it would be pretty, should give me a pretty decent reading on my scales. You know, here's the scale for the rear axles, and then of course, as usual, here's my scale for the front, the drive axles. So far, the places I've loaded, I had no confidence that they were going to give me accurate readings because they were on dirt and not level. But this looks pretty good. Of course, I haven't really checked these scales, you know, on a cat scale to know how accurate they are. So, you know, that's the downside to getting a new trailer. I had my old trailer. You know, I had calibrated it to where I was pretty confident that it was accurate. Wasn't always that way, but I had to adjust it. But anyway, even when you have some product sticking up like that one is, he should be able to kind of squash it down somewhat. So hopefully I won't have any pieces sitting up beyond my bows this time. All right, I'll show you another grab and you'll get the idea. Kind of squashing it in. All right, that's how it works. Okay guys, so as you can see, I've moved into a different location. I was kind of over in there. There's the scale house there. So I was over there for most of the load. Now they've moved me back here and getting topping off the load. So you can see now he's just packing it in and squashing it down, trying to get as much in there as possible. I doubt he's going to be able to get it filled so much that my scales are a problem. So some of this stuff is aluminum and some of it's stainless steel. Being loose like it is, I don't think it's going to approach a weight problem. But there's a look at some of the grounds. But that's it. It should be done here in a few minutes, hopefully. Then I'll scale out. Now I got to climb up there and do some work, you know, get my bows put back in, get the tarp on. The problem with the tarp on this trailer is if I just roll it over, the front part of the tarp does not fold over and stay on the lip of the trailer. So I end up having to roll it about 3/4 of the way over and then climb back up and all the way up front to position it in the right spot, and then climb back down and finish rolling it over. Kind of a hassle, but we get it done. There he is over there. Alright, so that's how it works here. Okay folks, so I'm arriving here at my delivery customer in Houston. It's called ELG. Never been here before. I saw a couple of other Oakley trucks back there that kind of told me where to turn to get in here. So we're supposed to get on the scale. You can see Houston straight ahead there in the distance, but we're supposed to get on the scale and then go back to this little office to the left to check in. So let me try to get that done. Okay, that only took 3 or 4 minutes. So she told me to pull off the scale and kind of go to the right, get my PPE on, personal protection equipment, and somebody would come and show me where to unload. And then I'll come right back onto this scale to check out. So I'm just gonna turn to the right here a little bit, and so I'm not blocking the scale, and get my PPE on and wait for somebody to show me what to do. All right, more in a minute. Okay guys, so we've just dumped out. I got to get in here and move my bows out of the way so I can shut my door. But let me try to show you. There's my pile right there that I unloaded, and then I pulled forward a little bit. He wanted me to shut my back door before I go get on the scale. So I'm gonna pop my bows back in. You see it came out real clean. Pop my bows back in, shut the door, scale out, see where we go next. All right, everybody. So I've got my trailer put back together, tarp over. I was gonna put my tarp back on once I got outside the gate here, but there was somebody on the scale, so I went ahead and did it. So we're ready to go. I gotta check out here, that little office to the right up there where there's a fella standing, and get my final paperwork. And then I'll pull out there to the right, and they got a couple of spots there where you can park. I'll call my dispatcher and see what's next. So it's 9 a.m. on a Friday. We're in Houston. Oh, all right. Let's go see if I can get some paperwork. All right, so I checked out, got my paperwork. Thought I'd go ahead and show you what it looks like here as you get out. Maybe it'll help you if you come here to make a delivery. All right. looks like there's one Oakley truck still sitting up here. That's not good, unless he's just resting. Hopefully it hadn't taken him that long to still waiting on is that next order, because he was, I'm pretty sure he was here when I pulled in. Woo! Alright, so I'm just gonna pull over here and call the dispatcher. Alright folks, little update for you. So after making that delivery back there in Houston, I sat out there for about an hour and a half. Dispatcher still has not confirmed me a load yet. So I finally decided to hit the road, even though I don't have an order for sure. I was trying to give you a shot of the Houston skyline there, but maybe you can still see a little bit of it. So he told me when I last talked to him about 30 minutes ago that he was trying to get me a load out of Longview, Texas, going to Fort Smith. You know, I had a load like that earlier in the week, but he didn't have it confirmed. So trying to get over here. All right, so you know, at this point I've got a little less than 6 hours of drive time on my clock, because I started today early. I mean, I fueled up there. You know, I stopped at the Pilot in Anna, Texas last night, and got up about 2:30 this morning and hit the road. Probably by the time I fueled up there and hit the road, it was about 3:15, and it was about 5 hours from there to here. So at this point I've got a little less than 6 hours of drive time. It's definitely not enough time to get a load and get very far down the road. Definitely can't get home today, which I'd already given up on that yesterday when I found out I was coming back to Houston. But I had told him, you know, if he could get something, they could get me home tomorrow. That's cool. And he was talking about a load out of Wasso. I may not be pronouncing that right. Wasso, Oklahoma. But I guess that didn't pan out. That's what he was working on first, but I wouldn't be able to get there today. I mean, it's a 9-hour drive from here, so I wasn't going to be able to get there today to get loaded. I don't have enough drive time. So he was going to see if I could load there in the morning, Saturday morning. I guess that didn't work out because he didn't call back. So I waited about an hour and called him back, and he's working on something else. So I just decided to get on the road and head toward Longview and hope that he gets that worked out. So I was tired of just sitting there running my truck and trying to keep it cool in the 100-degree temperature. So that's what we're doing. Oh yes, another hot spell. Yesterday I think it got up to 105. What my truck thermometer said. The hottest part of the day is still to come. Okay, I'll update you more when I know something. Okay, everybody. Hey, it's Saturday morning, about 7:30. I'm empty. talked about this much yesterday, but you know, I made that delivery down in Houston, and dispatcher ended up sending me home empty, but he's got me on a load to pick up in Owasso, I think that's how you pronounce it, Oklahoma, Monday morning. So he's got me, you know, I'm getting paid the empty miles to go from Houston to Owasso, but I'm kind of going home in between there. You know, it's a bit out of route for me to go home. I mean, if I was just doing this strictly for money purposes, it would be smarter for me to just go to have gone from Houston up towards Oklahoma and just done my 34-hour break on the road somewhere. But you know, it's like 150, 180 miles or so out of route miles for me to go home, do my break at home. So I'm doing that. So last night I stopped, you know, yesterday I went from Houston, you know, empty from Houston, and I made it up to the Loves there in Domino, Texas, about 15 miles south of Texarkana. Stopped there, and I was tired. Got a shower, crashed. Had a good night's sleep. It actually rained a couple times. So now we're approaching southwest side of Little Rock. You know, I'm just a few miles from the Oakley North Little Rock yard. It's probably going to be hard to find a parking spot there getting in on a Saturday morning. But we'll see what we can do. I need to try to find an extra bow for my trailer too, because if you remember, when I made that first pickup in Oklahoma City earlier this week, that guy that was loading me, he knocked one of my bows loose and it fell in with the load, and I never did find it. It's not a big deal missing one bow, but I'm going to try to find one there in the yard over where they park the spare trailers and all. Anyway, so you know, I had somebody send me a message through YouTube yesterday asking, it must have been somebody that, you know, had been watching my videos for a long time, back even when I was driving from Maverick, because he was asking, you know, if the off time, what was the off time like driving for Oakley? And I'll say, because, for example, right now, you know, when I get parked here in a few minutes, even though it's a Saturday, I'm going to have about 16 hours of work time left on my 70-hour clock for the week. Of course, you know, this was finishing up the Labor Day week. I didn't hit the road till probably about 12:30 or 1 p.m. on Labor Day. Drove about 6 hours, maybe 5.5 hours Monday. So this was kind of a short week anyway. But that's pretty normal driving for Oakley. You know, I definitely have more time left on my 70-hour clock with Oakley than I did with Maverick. I mean, with Maverick, man, they would stretch me out, pretty much eat up that clock usually. In fact, a lot of times I'd have to PC to get home. So I will say that the days are usually shorter and the weeks are usually shorter, which translates into having a longer weekend. you know. So that's a good thing. Money's better, and the weekend breaks are typically longer. So with this load, you know, I'm going to be picking up in Owasso, Oklahoma Monday, and I'm probably going to leave the Oakley North Little Rock yard. I don't know, it depends on, pretty early, you know, probably 6 or 6:30 a.m. on Monday morning. Get going, and then the load delivers in Chester, South Carolina. Which is a good trip. I've already called the customer because it's a job site, and they don't really care if I deliver it Tuesday, you know, late Tuesday or Wednesday morning. They don't really care. So no big deal really. I'll just leave out Monday morning and get the load and then head back across Arkansas. I'm thinking I might can get you know, somewhere past Memphis. We'll see how it goes. I want to mention too that last weekend I had talked to a nice couple that's living in California now, doing an employee driver gig, but looking to buy their own truck and looking at Oakley. They're planning to move from California to Texas in a few months, so they're just trying to kind of get things set up for that. His name was Simba, and his wife Vivette. Nice couple. I've already put them in touch, or sent their contact information into recruiting there at Oakley, so hopefully they'll be talking soon, if not already. Good luck with that, guys. Like I said, they're looking at leasing or purchasing a truck. You know, going through all that, like a lot of you have done or will do. Alright, so I'll try to show you some of the yard when I get there. I'm still a few miles away, so we'll see you when I get over there. Okay, everybody. Turning in here to the entrance to get into the Oakley yard. We'll take a look at this together, see what's going on a Saturday morning. You know, I had another Oakley driver tell me a couple of days ago that, you know, he had taken off this week, Labor Day week, and his dispatcher called to ask him, since he was off, if he'd be willing to give up his, you know, his regular end-dump trailer for one of these steel trailers like I'm pulling now. That's how bad they're hurting for trailers. He said, no, thank you. So I recommend, unless you want to switch trailers, don't unhook from yours. If you're going to be off or anything, don't unhook from your trailer. There's some drivers. So there's like last week, there's a big line of trailers here. They still got a bunch of those. Oh, there's a parking spot. There's one parking spot at least. I guess I'll just grab that one. All right, well, I didn't think I'd find a parking spot, but I am. All right, so I don't have any financial information to share with you this week because I won't get a paycheck until next Friday. Oh, let's see. Let me straighten up a little bit. You know, this is my first week back after that month-long break to get my engine replaced, which, happy to say, the engine replacement has performed nicely this week. I haven't had any trouble with that. Oh man, I'm still not straight. Let's see here. All right, there we go. So I don't have any financial information to share with you, but next weekend we'll be able to report on the income that this week has produced. So with that, I'll wrap it up. I'm going to try to unload my stuff from the truck here and get on home and have a little weekend.